I'm Chaplain Kelvin Foster. I'm a health and public safety chaplain, chaplain at a fire department in the area as well as 2 hospitals, and also with American Red Cross. My background is I was a firefighter EMT for about 8 years in Manatee County. I got involved with Resilient Retreat because I learned more about the vision and mission from Sydney Turner. As she began to express her desire to work with victims and first responder community, it was just very intriguing. It was just unnatural for me to say, hey, I want to be a part of that mission and vision. As a former first responder myself, I know we are very good at the mission and helping others, not so good at taking care of ourselves. So a lot of times first responders will overexert themselves. They put a lot of time and effort into learning their skills to be able to help people, but when it gets overwhelming, we don't always get the resources and teachings that we need to be able to help ourselves. I have personally experienced a lot of organizations that are set up to help people who are dealing with difficult situations, but they don't always use the best trauma-informed approaches. And I think Resilient Retreat is uniquely set up to be able to meet those needs because there's a lot of research that's being done and put into the programs that are being offered here. And so I think that's what makes Resilient Retreat very unique.
My name is Tammy Featherstone, and I am a certified professional life coach. My connection to the first responder community is through law enforcement. I was in law enforcement for 14 years, first as an officer and then retired as a sergeant. I think one of the unmet needs for first responders is the education about the stigma that comes along with this. So mental illness of any kind, trauma, abuse, the different things that we experience that most people in their entire lifetime may have one critical incident that they're involved in, but as first responders, they are involved daily, if not multiple times in a shift. So you have law enforcement that do 12-hour shifts, and then firefighters and EMS that is 24 hours. So in that time frame, you could experience a crisis every hour, and most people in this world will maybe have 1 or 2 in their lifetime. So that cumulative trauma that we're experiencing, nobody's addressing. It's like, well, here's EAP, or go see a counselor, but they're not really addressing that daily cumulative trauma and what are we doing with it. So I feel like that's where this need is going to come in, that confidentiality, the inclusivity for men and women to come and be able to talk and share and not have the concerns that, oh, is my department going to hear about this, or am I going to be labeled and that I'm not well. That Resilient Retreat really brings that safe place and space for those people. So that's where I see the need. I think one of the biggest things to let the community know about is how important Resilient Retreat is and is going to be. Like I said, this is just the beginning phases and we're just getting our feet wet, if you will. But the amount of help that they're going to be able to give to first responders, and I'm specifically focusing on that just because of my background, is going to be immense. Just to learn what compassion fatigue is. I feel that I'm a pretty educated person, but I didn't know it. I had never even heard the term until I met Sydney. Learning that there is a name to how I'm feeling, that was a relief in itself. So I think it's going to be huge for all of those first responders and their trauma that they're going through. What is also so unique about Resilient Retreat and the people that come here is they aren't trying to fix us. There's nothing wrong with us. They are here to hold that space, walk with us, hold our hand, and show us how to help ourselves. And that's, I love that genuineness that's here at Resilient Retreat.
And I think one of the things that I've learned about dealing with folks with trauma, it's not necessarily what's wrong with you, but what happened to you that causes some of the reactions that we have. And so I think Resilient Retreat is in a unique position to be able to meet the community where they're most vulnerable and where they're most needed. And so that's another reason why I'm very happy to be a part of this organization, because I know the need is great.